Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with the Yard Holistic Killer, aka Sonia B. So I am back with another message. Today's topic is we're talking about Uncharted Territory. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the message, okay? So Uncharted Territory is a representation of us as people stepping into the unknown. We don't know, okay? So sometimes this is where God is putting us through a test, because if there's anything that we possibly fear or whatever it is that we feeling like that makes us uncomfortable, sometimes we can result back to staying stuck where God is trying to move us out of, okay? So I say all that to say that if you find yourself moving into uncharted territories, it's for a reason, okay? And know that the divine spirit of light is ordering this. So I do want to say this because spirit is bringing this to my attention. So just as there's physical world, as I said before, there's also a spiritual world coexisting. So just because something is happening to you at this moment, don't necessarily look at it as being something bad in a sense, because this is could be the situation of, divine spirit of light is ordering your steps and directing your path, because what we may think to be God is, society may tell us, oh, that's not God, that's just bad luck. Okay, so look at it like that as well too. Just keep an open mind in the situation, because this is part of the problem as well too, because society has been in our heads and our mindsets for so long that we have had repetitive cycles, patterns, and habits that has been going on from things that society has taught us. So therefore, if society tells us we should move like this, we should talk like this, we should act like this, we should have this type of job, we should be doing this, or we should be doing that by a particular age. And I'm here to tell you that God is saying none of that is him, okay? So with that being said, the point I'm trying to make here is God is trying to get us out of the box that basically society has put us in, okay? Which means you can only go left, right, front or back, or top or bottom. That's it. Is a cap, okay? You can't move any further. Well, God is trying to get us to think outside of the box. And as we think outside of the box, there's infinite information, from the Most High, okay? Society try to limit us to God saying, okay, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, in a sense, but God is trying to tell you that I'm bigger than that, okay? So another thing to keep in mind as well, too, is that the Most High is here to bring us back to our remembrance of who we are, okay? This is him trying to bring us back to who we are. So again, as I said, don't take it personal, and don't look at it from a situation of, oh, God is punishing me in a sense. And I understand that too, because at one point in time, I thought the same exact thing too. I was like, what did I do? But I say all that to say that basically God knows what is for our highest and our greatest good. God knows our potential, where society tries to limit our potential in a sense, okay? So as God knows our potential, he's going to push us to the max, okay? He's going to push us, and he's going to push us into the place that where he knows that we should be at. Why? Because this is for our soul growth. And what I just heard a second ago is because some of you guys, your soul just wants to be liberated. It just wants to be free from all the patterns, all the habits, all the cycles, and all the repetitive things, that we have been stuck in and constantly doing. And even if that's a way of thinking in a sense, because I just heard also too, thank you, Spirit. I just heard also too as well, when we think a certain way, we're limiting God. And God, like I said, is infinite, okay? Endless, okay? So I say all that to say that God wants you to have a personal relationship with him in a sense, okay? As it says, when God says to draw near to him, and basically he'll draw near to you, okay? But the thing about it is, this uncharted territory, some of you guys will tread in waters that, territory, let me not say waters, water is a representation of emotions. So some of you guys may charter in certain areas that you're not used to. And this is basically the Most High, the Creator, basically trying to get you to see things about yourself that you wasn't necessarily aware of, okay? So as these things are being brought to the surface, it's giving you insight of why you have been in those habits and patterns and the repetitive motions, okay? And why it has been keeping you stuck. It's almost like keeping yourself in a mental prison, okay? So as you keep yourself in this mental prison, you basically end up limiting yourself, okay? Unless you start to change the way that you think and look at life in a sense, okay? Because this is what you have to understand is God has his people out here who has been blind, who has been stolen from, who has been, people have basically taken things from them that did not belong to them in a sense, and it's basically God's chosen one. So I say all that to say that there's been so many people that have came along, and they have basically taken from these individual people things that did not belong to them. And whether it's physically, this can be done spiritually as well too, okay? Taking something from them that did not belong to them spiritually, okay? So I say all that to say, like, your birthright, your spiritual gifts, things that you were owed in a sense. So therefore, as long as somebody keeps you suppressed, and as long as they keep you caught up with doing things that the way that the world does it in a sense, they keep using your energy in a sense, okay? So I say all that to say that when you chart in this uncharted territory, there's going to be times where you're going to have to just learn how to go with the flow. Then there's going to be times where some people may try to resist this energy, and just know that if you're resisting the energy, you just make the situation a little harder for yourself in a sense, okay? But basically, this is God trying to have us to face ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, what is it that you fear, okay? I'm going to need you to address that, okay? And for some people, it could be a situation of jealousy. It could be anger. It could be hatred. It could be guilt. It could be shame of any kind. It could be a lack mindset of, making money. It could be a lack mindset of, feeling loved, or, it's different for everybody. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind as well, too. But basically, some people will be asked to take the path less chosen. Okay. So that means that it's going to be a totally different path from maybe like the other people. And it's going to be very important for you to focus on yourself, put your horse blinders on, and not worry about what the person to the left of you is doing, and not worry about what the person to the right of you is doing, and definitely not looking behind you and worrying about the past. It's about staying forward and stay focused, okay, or where it is that God wants you to go. The other thing to remember as well too is God is having us to address ourselves, what's on the inside of us. And part of treading the uncharted territory is us facing the good, the bad, and the ugly that is within ourselves, okay? So basically, as God pushes us forward into these new areas of life, so many people are going to find themselves being uncomfortable in a situation. So I'm just here to basically tell you that if you find yourself being a little uncomfortable, that you feel like, oh my God, like I don't know what to do, just know that there's help and there's resources around, okay? And I will say this. There are people out here to help assist you on your journey, but it's going to be very important to stop, sit for a moment, listen to the inner guidance of where of God is guiding you, whether it's say go left or go right, okay? And I say that because when you go left or you go right, it makes a difference, okay? Because sometimes people can make a mistake and go the opposite direction and miss where it is that God is trying to take them to, and they set themselves back a little further, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end that there, but if you guys need any assistance on your journey, feel free to reach out to me and book a service through a Reiki service, or either book a session, personal consultant in a sense, okay? So I say all that to say that I wish you all much love, much light until the next video. Bye.